as we get closer or out of the wheel, we start noticing the more fine-tuned emotions, right? Just got joined by Ozzy here. So the way that the wheel works is like if we could name the emotion, then we could begin to work with it a little bit better, right? And the thing that we would not want to do, or the thing that we would avoid doing, would be to kind of like pretend that we are not feeling certain emotions, or try to push away certain emotions because they're not emotions that we like, right? Or emotions that we can control easily. So I'll just leave that up for now until we are ready to go. I see that we have about 6 people on board so far, and that's very nice. Welcome, everybody. We'll just keep waiting a little bit longer. We have about 5 more minutes left, and yeah, we'll see how we go. Welcome. Hey, Kristen.
All right. Hello. Hi. Can you hear it?
Yeah, we're just waiting. We're just waiting a couple of minutes to get on board.
Good. Well, I have some people here who'd like to say hello.
Oh my gosh, this is the whole fam. Look at that.
Hi.
So we've all set up, we found a way to set up all of our mats in the living room. And
Beautiful.
let's see.
Nice.
Yeah. Here's the
Very
gallery.
nice. So I put up an emotion wheel. I don't know if you could see that on the screen.
Right here, guys.
Can you see that or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So that's a wheel that we could use to map out, like, what are we feeling right now? And it's useful because sometimes we're feeling something and we don't have a name for it. And when we don't have a name for it, it's harder for us to kind of like work with it. So figuring out a name is helpful sometimes. Hey, I see some folks there. I see video. Nice. Hi, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Good, good, good. How awesome. Antonio and family.
Hey, Antonio.
Aha.
Antonio, hi.
And yes. And there's Maribel.
Hey.
How are you?
And Christina's here. Oh my gosh, Christina. Oh, it's so good to see you. Good. And Carol's on video too. Nice.
That's Antonio right there.
It is Antonio right there.
Antonio.
Everybody can say hi to each other. Yeah, isn't that nice? And Lisa's there. Yes.
Yep.
Enjoying the afternoon sunlight. It's a gorgeous afternoon.
Yes. We're on our patio.
I see that. I see that. Yeah. Good. So I've posted this emotion wheel. I was telling the kids, and it's a nice tool to kind of like figure out what are we feeling right now. Sometimes we have complicated emotions and we don't know, like we don't have words for them. And sometimes when we kind of explore the word for the emotion, then it gives us a little bit more ability to work with that emotion. So this is an emotion wheel that I work with my students. Then I actually show them this too. These are texture words, and they're kind of small right now. I could send this to you guys if you want. But these are words that I often ask them to connect with the emotion, because oftentimes emotions are felt in the body in a certain way, and they have a certain texture to it. Maybe cold, maybe fuzzy, maybe, I don't know, sharp. So it's a bunch of words that you could connect with this wheel. And then that gives you a little bit of like a map of like, where am I? And I think the worst thing that we could do is, especially when we're feeling difficult and challenging emotions, is to deny them. And so the best thing that we could do is actually to name them. And sometimes we need a little help, and this is just a help. So I think it's about 7:01, and we have about 8 people who have joined, and that's a really good number. And I think maybe I'll wait another like a minute or two. Let's just see how. It's kind of like Miami time, so you know. Miami, Orlando time.
We'll mute ourselves, so because we have a lot of people here making.
Okay, yeah. If you want to, like, maybe what we could do while we wait is we could all just say hello. Hey, so we could start from just one at a time. We could say, Kristen, say hello, and the kids.
Hi.
This is
Isabel.
Kristen.
Jacob.
Aaron. Hi, Kristen.
Hi.
Hi guys. All right, we'll mute ourselves so we don't keep making
Okay.
popping up.
And
on
then good. So then there's the next person, Maribel.
Hi, everyone.
And then I think it's Christina next.
Hello.
Christina, are you in Miami or are you somewhere else?
I'm in Miami in Coconut Grove.
Okay. Oh, we're close by.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I think there's Lisa and Richard.
Hello.
There, yeah. And is Richard standing or sitting?
Hi.
I'm bending over.
Okay.
In between.
Richard is usually standing. Yeah.
Really, baby?
Yeah. It's Antonio and Maria. Yes. Hola, saludos.
Hello.
No.
Bien. Qué bueno. And then we have Caro.
Hi.
And then we have Maggie, who's my sister.
Hi.
Hi.
And I think did we miss anybody? I think we got everybody who's right.
Hello.
Rosa Maria is here.
Oh, Rosa Maria just joined.
Can
Oh
you
my
see
gosh.
me?
Ciao, Rosa
Can
Maria.
you see me?
I could see your floor.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I'm so
Oh,
technologically
we can see
challenged.
you now. We can see a little bit of your hair and your face and one eye.
Okay, can you see me
Almost. There, yes.
now? Okay.
Good. Welcome, Rosa Maria. How are you?
I'm good, yes. Actually, I'm here at my son's house because my daughter-in-law will join us in 20 minutes when she gets home from work.
Perfect. How wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay, so we're gonna start, and what I'm gonna just ask everybody to do is just to mute your microphones so that we don't hear anything in the back. You could leave your video on if you like. If you don't want to do that, you don't have to. So we could just mute everything, and then it turns quiet, like there's no echo. Ozzy's in the back on top of the bed, and so then I'm gonna just go over the emotion wheel just real quick, and so we would start with the center part of the wheel. Let me go back to this. And so right around this, let me see if my pencil works. Yeah, so it does work. All right, so so I would say like right now, I'm feeling a little bit fearful. I'm feeling a little bit anxious and worried, all right? I'm also feeling happy. I'm also feeling optimistic. And I'm also feeling thankful and loving. Okay, we see that there's a combination of feelings, right? So it's not just all one thing. These feelings here kind of like seem like a little bit heavy and maybe more challenging to work with. And these seem a little bit lighter and maybe a little bit easier to work with. In fact, they're the same. Feelings come and go, and ultimately a feeling is something that we experience in ourselves, but they are not us. So we might feel fearful, we might feel anxious, we might feel worried, but we're none of those things. I am not fearful, I am not anxious, I am not worried, I am not happy, I am not optimistic, I am not thankful, and I am not loving. I feel all those things. They come through me and they go out through me. So the reality is that we go through all of these feelings, or they go through us all the time. And sometimes it just feels like some of these feelings tend to like want to hang out. And the thing that we might want to try to do is just, can we invite flow? Can we invite the flow so that the feelings, especially the ones that feel a little bit more difficult to work with, don't just take up residence and real estate in ourselves, and they just go through us, and then we use the energy that they bring in a creative way. So all of us right now are in this video chat room and not in the Dice house in our little casita doing yoga together, for the obvious reasons of the virus and the worldwide dilemma that we're all in, right? And so we know that this is not an easy time, and we can't pretend it is an easy time. But we can say that it's a time that we can work together, and it's also a time that we can work with these very challenging feelings, and then learn from them somehow. Learn what it is that we have to learn from this experience. I want to say that this is a great opportunity, I think, to develop greater compassion and kindness toward everybody. Nobody's exempted, right? So this is one of those situations, a very unique situation, where every single person on the planet, in a way, is as vulnerable as, or we could say that everybody's vulnerable, and everybody could be helpful to one another. And so this yoga practice tonight has the intention of helping us kind of come into ourselves, identify the feelings that we might have at the moment, and then can we allow those feelings to flow through us instead of getting stuck with us. So, can we allow the flow to happen? So this is a class to try to get that flow to work itself through us. And I hope that you are able to enjoy it. So what I'm going to ask you to do is find your mat, right? So, and find an easy seated place, a spot on the mat where you can take an easy seated pose. I'm going to quiet down the music. And we're going to place our hands on our knees. And as we take our hands to our knees, we're going to lengthen the back, right? So instead of scrunching down like this, we want to lift and take the shoulders, the whole chest cavity up, so that we feel like we're taking this very, very sort of regal pose, sitting on our mats. And from here, we could close our eyes. And as we close our eyes, or we could draw the attention of our eyes towards the ground. We begin to inhale and exhale slowly. And we want to try to do that through the nose if we're not stuffy. And so see if you could make a sound with your breath. And the sound is the sound of the ocean. So it's the inhale, making that little raspy sound through the back of your throat. Exhale through the nose. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. So keep going, keep breathing at your own pace. And what I'm going to ask you to do is to take your right hand and place your right hand on your belly. And as you place your right hand on your belly, see if you could notice your belly expand on the inhale, contract on the exhale. So feel the movement of the belly up and down. Slowing down the breath, so especially slowing down the exhale, so making the exhale a little bit longer than the inhale. Savor your breath. So bring the air all the way up to the top of your lungs, and then on the exhale, draw all the air out of the body slowly. Let's take our hands to our chest, our left hand to our chest. And just notice the breath again. Notice the sound of the breath going in and out of your nose, through the throat. You might hear the sounds of the room around you, the humming maybe of your air conditioning or the birds outside if you're outside. Whatever sounds you hear, it's okay. Bring it all in. With both of our hands on our body this way, we remind ourselves right now that we are in a good place. That this body that we're touching right now has brought us this far in our lives. It has been a fantastic vehicle for us to manifest our soul, our joy, our love for ourselves and for one another. And a trustworthy vehicle. With our hands on our belly, and in our chest, we acknowledge that we have a very, very long genealogy, uninterrupted, going back generations upon generations upon generations, beyond human ancestors, beyond primates, beyond, all the way to the beginning of time, to the stars, to the flaring forth of the Big Bang. So we know that what we're touching with our hands and our hands itself is an expression of that creativity that happened 13.8 billion years ago. That what we are touching with our hands and that our hands are is reconfigured stardust energy. That there has never been a disconnection between that moment 13.8 billion years ago to this present moment right now. And no matter what happens, tomorrow, 2 weeks from tomorrow, 5 years from today, there will never be a discontinuity. Energy is not created nor destroyed. And that's what we're touching with our hands, and that's what our hands are. So we give ourselves a moment and we place our hands back on our knees, and we give ourselves permission for the next, let's say 30, 40 minutes that we're together. We give ourselves permission to rest. We give ourselves permission to unwind. We give ourselves permission to sense the body. We give ourselves permission to be, to relax, to unwind. We give ourselves permission to let go of our thinking and just come into sensation. We know that the majority of our thoughts are repetitive and recursive and pretty much useless. They're the same thoughts over and over again. And so for this next hour, we say, let the thoughts be. They'll do the thing that thoughts do. And we are going to just take our focal point to the body, to the sensations in the body as we move and as we breathe. And in that way, we give ourselves a little rest, a much needed rest. Okay. All right, so as we begin, let's take a moment and feel your knees with your hands and feel the bony structures of your knees. And then draw your awareness towards your shoulders. Notice whether you're holding tension in the shoulders, and you could move the shoulders around a little bit or a lot. Nobody's watching, or maybe everybody's watching, I don't know. I see a couple of people. And so just feel those shoulders and invite those shoulders to relax a little bit. And then just notice your head and your face, right? So take a moment to open your eyes really wide, right? And then relax. Let's do that a couple of times. Wide open eyes and relax. One more time. Wide open eyes and relax. Take a moment to put a little smile on your face. So we smile not because we're fake smiling, but because we're relaxing the face. So the smile allows the face to relax. The smile also activates your vagus nerve, right? Something I always like to talk about. So there are vagus nerve endings right around the edges of your mouth and the edges of your eyes. Your vagus nerve is the 10th cranial nerve in your brain, very large nerve that goes through the side of your neck and through the basically center part of your body, with nerve endings to the mouth, nerve endings to the heart, and nerve endings into the belly, right? So we activate, or the vagus nerve is responsible for your emotional tone. And so anytime that you say, I have a gut feeling, well, that's exactly what you have. It's more than a gut feeling. It's that intelligence in your gut. We have neurons in our gut that communicate with the brain, with the heart as well. And the basic nerve endings in your face are all responsive to the vagus nerve. So when we take a little bit of a smile like this, that's a kind of bigger smile. But when we smile, we're actually activating that vagus nerve, reminding ourselves that right now, this very moment, this is a good spot to be in. We're good. We're safe. And we can unwind and relax. All right. With that, let's go ahead and I'm going to move back just a little bit so that you could maybe see a little bit easier. We're going to take the arms up. And as we take the arms up, reach, right? So notice my shoulders are really down right now. And I'm going to reach my shoulders and I'm going to look to my thumbs. And then I'm going to open up my arms wide. I'm going to put it to the side here so that I could feel my chest opening and I could feel the shoulder blades coming back down. And then I'm just going to bring my arms down. So let's do that one more time. Inhaling up, reaching the shoulders up, stretching out the body, bringing the belly button towards the spine, opening up the arms really wide and bringing the hands down. Let's see if you could do that on the breath. So that means inhaling, exhaling. Do that a couple of times. Mouth closed, all through the nose. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Now keep your arms up really high, again reaching, and let's take the right hand down and we're going to reach with that left arm and feel the stretch right around the hip area and extend, and you're going to open up your hands, right? Hand is facing down and we can look to the hands. Inhale the right arm up. And drop the left and reach with that right arm towards the left side. Feel the stretch on the right side of the body. Look to the hand. Savor the sensations and come right back up. And let's take a moment and bring our hands forward and wherever you are. So it doesn't matter if you're going to fold all the way down like this, or if you're gonna be like this, right? So walk your hands forward and just allow yourself to relax here. Let's walk our hands now to the right side. And as you walk the hands to the right side, look over or under your right armpit and feel the stretch on the left side of the body. So when I say feel the stretch, I mean, take your awareness to that part of the body so that you sense it. You sense what is going on there and explore it. Come back to center, so you walk it back to center. And we start going to the left side and do the same thing. And now this time, look under that right armpit. Actually, you should have, yeah, so right armpit. And feel the side, the right side of the body. We come back to center and walk up and maybe tempt your fingers and bring your chin down slightly so that you could feel your upper back, and then slowly just walk yourself back. And bring now your chest forward, so leading with your chest, right? So the back is long and the shoulder blades are down and you're sensing the entire body. So you're feeling your sit bones, you're feeling the edges of your feet, you're feeling your hands on your knees, you're taking your shoulder blades back, your chin slightly down. So from the soles of the feet all the way to the crown of the head, you're just noticing the entire body. Keep coming back to your breath. So from here, let's take the shoulders up to the ears, back and down. So shoulder rotations back, down, so up, back and down. And you want to exaggerate that movement, right? As much as you can, so you get sensations around the shoulders. So we carry a lot of tension around the shoulders. And you might feel maybe little shivers, right? Goosebumps. And then now we go forward, rotating forward. Good. Now let's take our head back. And then we bring the chin to the chest. Stay right there for a moment. And then we come back to center. Let's take our gaze to the right side. Come back. Gaze to the left. Come back. Let's take the right ear to the right shoulder. Bring your right hand to the side of your head and just feel the stretch on that left side of the neck, right through here. So noticing the sensations. Then we come back, left ear, left shoulder. Left hand to the side, very gentle. So it's not like a very strong stretch, it's just a little bit of a stretch. We come back. And then now we could do little rotations with our head. So just very gentle circles. Keep coming back to the breath, slowing it down, reminding ourselves this is a good place right now. This is a safe place right now. Savoring this moment, turning to gratitude, to wonder. Working through whatever feelings we might be having, allowing them to just flow right through us. And then we go in the opposite direction. We could hear maybe little sounds as we do this, sort of like around your neck. As you do this, invite yourself to just relax. And then we come right back to center. Okay, we're going to keep with sort of relaxing the body. So we're going to just take a moment and lean forward. And as we lean forward, we take a box pose, right? So in the box pose, we're going to place the hands right under the shoulders and the hips right above the knees, right? So this is what we call box. And I would be letting my shoulders go up to my ears here. And what I'm doing is I'm pushing my shoulders away and pushing away from the floor with my hands. My fingers are spread out, and my arms are tense, right? So from here, we're gonna just do a couple of cat-cows. So we're gonna arch the back, and as we arch the back, we're gonna drop the belly, and we're gonna look up. And then we're gonna exhale, bring the chin to the chest, round the back. Do this a number of times on your own, sensing the body and bringing sort of a sensation or a feeling to the lower back and the upper back, creating a sense of movement and slowness in terms of stretching and letting go of any tension that you have on the back. Do this gently so that you don't create pain. So there should be no pain in any of this. If there is, then don't do it. Inhaling when you look up. Exhaling when you look down towards your other chin to the chest. We come back to center, and as we come back to center, we're going to bring the knees a little bit closer together, and we're going to take the hips to the left side. As we take the hips to the left side, we're going to look behind us to the right and come back, and then take hips to the right side and look behind us. So do that on your own, sort of following your breath and noticing sort of what's happening with the sensations around the hips. Inviting those hips to stretch, inviting sensation basically on the hips so that you could feel that. Come back to center. And let's go ahead and take the right foot and take it forward towards the hand, the right hand, right? And as we do that, just see if you could lean forward a little bit so that, let's move this a bit. All right, so that instead of back, you want to lean, and you'll feel this all in the groin, and we could bring the hand to the inside of the foot and just see if we could lengthen the back, right? So instead of rounding the back, lengthen the back. So take the chest and lead with the chest forward. You could let the knee hang to the side a little bit. Even you could put the edge of your foot to the mat. Hands are flat on the ground. Arms are strong. And just feel this. You could feel this on the hip and on the inside of your leg. Keep coming back to your breath. We lean back a little bit, and we could round our back. And we could bring that foot down, and maybe we could just stand up a little bit and just stretch that leg out, right? And we could even lift our arms up and find our balance. Open up the arms wide and lean forward. Bring that hand in. Do it again on the inhale. Exhale. If you find that your mat is too thin, you could bend your mat a little bit, right? And give it a little bit of a fold. Inhaling back up. And bringing your hands to the ground and taking that right foot back and letting go of that fold on the mat if you had it. Okay, good. So let's go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. So we're just going to take that left foot forward. As we take the left foot forward, we bring the hand in, right, into the inside of that left foot. And we could let that knee come to the side a little bit and let the chest or the heart lead forward. Sensing now the hips, both. And just feeling the body, just sensing the body, bringing awareness to the sensations. As long as it's not painful, just notice it. Keep coming back to the breath. Slow it down on the exhale. As we find that quiet, slow breath, we remind ourselves this is a good place. This is a good moment right now. This very moment that we're in. And all that we have is always this moment. It's not the next moment, it's the now. And with that, we move ourselves back and put that foot down, and we could stretch, reach up, stretch the body out, and the same way, bring the arms wide open and take it forward and sense that. And we could, again, make it your own, right? So it's not the way it looks with me. It could be looking very different, and it's all right. So this is not painful, right? So we trust the body. So we do that a couple of times. So inhaling up, finding that balance, reaching up, stretching out the body, opening up the heart really wide open and taking it forward. Inhaling it up. Exhaling it down. From here, let's tuck the toes of the right foot, and we could actually lift up a little bit, but we're just going to take that foot back. We come into a plank. We could do a modified plank where we could go on our knees, or we could just go up. We rotate the shoulders back, and we drop down into a yoga push-up. I'm going to move a little bit here. All right. Hugging the elbows close to the body. Let's lift up and take the shoulders away and point your toes back. Take a couple of inhales and exhales. Feel the lower back. And then we just relax and bring our forearms down and just give ourselves a little pillow. Relax the entire body. Allow yourself to completely melt into your mat. Follow your breath. Putting that little smile even in this pose. Sensing the breath as it changes as we're on our bellies. Inviting relaxation to the back, to the front of the body, back of the body. So now we come back and we bring our chin to the mat, and we could extend the arms forward And maybe bring the camera down a little bit. All right, so chin to the mat and feel the lats, your side, your muscles right around here, your lats and the muscles coming into the chest. I think they're called the serratus muscles. And breathe into your chest. So do a couple of inhales and exhales where you feel the chest cavity open up. Feeling the whole chest cavity or filling the whole chest cavity with air so that you're actually lifting up a little bit and coming down on your exhale. Let's go ahead and take the left leg and you're pointing the toes towards the back. And you're going to take your right arm up, taking the right arm up, and you're going to stretch that right arm, fingers forward, and you're going to look towards the ground and inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale, exhale. Now let's do the right leg. Inhale, right leg, left arm. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Making the sound of the ocean with your breath. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale. Exhale. Let's give ourselves a little pillow and relax the body. So we said we were going to give ourselves permission just to be, and so part of that is just slowing down. Sensing the body, letting go of our agenda with the body, embracing the body just as it is. No need to change anything, to fix anything, to make any improvements. We're just hanging out with the body, letting go of the judgment, maybe for the next couple of minutes or for the last couple of minutes. Let's extend the arms out again, and we're bringing our forehead down, and we're going to just lift the legs, pointing the toes, and lift the arms up, kind of like Superman. And breathe a couple of times this way. Let the chest cavity expand fully on the inhale and let yourself down on the exhale. Don't look up, just look towards the ground. And give yourself a little break. Let's tuck our toes in And we're gonna bring our hands right by our side, and we're just gonna push up into a modified plank. Let me turn the camera up. Oops. And I'm gonna turn the light on. Back to light. All right. And we're gonna, let's see. Tucking the toes in, we're gonna push up and just move back. You could open up your knees and just forward and back. Just feel the stretch in your feet and also on your back. Do that a couple of times. Just adding movement. And then see if we could balance on our feet, right? Finding our balance, taking it easy. And then we're gonna bring our hands to the mat and then just gonna take a little hop to the outside and see if we could bring the heels down and find that right spot where you could then bring yourself down into a squat and just hang here for a little bit. We could take prayer pose. Find the sensations. Where are the sensations in the body? So most likely you're feeling it around your hips, maybe around your ankles. I don't know. That's where I'm feeling things. All right. And we could just then slowly come up. As we come up, we could just stretch out the body. Hold on, I gotta modify my camera angle. Here we go. All right, good. All right, so from here, let's do a couple of stretches standing, right? So, but before we do the stretches standing, put your feet about a hip distance apart, and let's just do some hula hooping, right? So just rotating the body and inviting some movement. Putting a little smile on your face, just sensing the body. So where are you sensing the body right now? So right now I'm feeling my lower back and my shoulders, sort of moving them around. Going in one direction. Can I add a little bit of movement around my neck? Yes. Can I take a full breath and a full exhale? Yes. How wonderful that is. And then we're going to go in reverse order. Just go back and just notice the reversal. And just bring awareness to the body. Some movement. Good. All right. Let's just move the shoulders around and move the arms around and then just bounce the real little bit, all right? So this is kind of like a non-yoga move, but it's a really nice move where you just allow yourself to bounce. And we'll do something else. Your mics are all on mute, so you can't hear what you're gonna sound like, but we're gonna add some movement. And that movement's gonna, or that sound is gonna be, so you're just gonna breathe it out as you just bounce, all right? So again, just join me in the craziness and just allow the limbs to just move and move and all right. Okay, so where did the energy go there, right? So we went from really quiet, kind of like to this movement, right? maybe a little bit more expansive. So let's take that energy and keep moving it. And we'll do a sun salutation A, right? So we notice now that the movement is a little bit more dynamic, and maybe we're feeling a little bit different as we move this way, right? So in sun A, you're gonna bring your feet about, and they could be together or hip distance apart. We're gonna take our arms up. Now, when we take our arms up, we wanna take the entire body up. So it's not just like this, it's an entire lift, all right? So inhaling arms up, looking to the thumbs, bring them down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now here we go. We're going to do a sun A. So inhale. Exhale. Fold all the way down as far as you can go. Bring your chin to your chest. Round your back. Back is rounded. And then now we're going to inhale, flat back. All right. So I'm inhaling halfway. My hands are, let me see if you can see my hands. So there you go. My hands are facing one another. My back is flat. I'm going to take an inhale again. Exhale, I'm going to bring my hands to the ground. And I'm going to take my feet back into plank. All right? Feet back into plank. My elbows point back. Take an exhale, come down. Point the toes back. Inhale into cobra or up dog, but let's just do cobra for now. Take an inhale here, exhale, tuck your toes in and push back into a down dog. In down dog, adjust your feet, right? So that the feet are going slightly out. You could bend your knees a little bit, right? So that would be the back end. This would be the front end. Hands are shoulder distance apart, and instead of leaning forward, you want to push back. So pushing back might mean that you need to bend your knees a little bit so that you could feel the stretch around the shoulders. Spread your fingers out, press the palms down, take your heels down as much as you can. Feel your back, look to your hands, take a step forward and come up halfway again. Exhale, fold in, look behind you. Inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, bring your hands to your side. Come back into mountain pose. All right, you should be feeling kind of like a little bit, your heart racing a little, maybe higher heart rate. All right, so we start, this is what we call mountain pose. In mountain pose, your feet are close to each other. We're sensing the soles of the feet, from the soles of the feet up to the crown of the head. The fingers are spread out, pointing down. Shoulders are not up, they're down. The body's actually engaged, so it's not like a total resting pose, but you are resting. You're grounding yourself and you're lifting yourself up at the same time. Come back to the breath. Let's do one more sun salutation A, inhaling arms up. Exhaling, folding all the way down. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhaling, hands to the ground. Take your feet back into plank. And drop down. I'm gonna drop down and I'll fix my camera. Take a cobra. Exhale, down dog. Push away from your hands. Take your heel slightly out. Hands are shoulder distance apart. Your feet are hip distance apart. Let's look to the hands, and this time let's just take a little hop and sit. All right, good. So coming back into our seated pose. We have about 6 minutes, so I want us to get into a Shavasana. Shavasana is the peak pose of any yoga class, so it's our way of resting. So let's take our right hand to our left knee and our left hand behind us. Lengthen the back, and let's take an inhale. And on the exhale, turn to your left. And you can move your shoulder. Just come back to center. Let's take the left hand to the right knee, the right hand behind you. The fingers are pointing back. And we're going to turn to the right. Come back to center. Let's release, and let's bring our feet towards the front of the mat, and let's give ourselves a big hug. As we bring give ourselves a hug, let's take the chest forward, and then let's bring the chin slightly down. Keep coming back to the sensations of the body and the breath. We relax, and let's take ourselves back. Right, as we take ourselves back, let's put our head back, and can we make a number 4 with our foot? So right foot goes to the left knee, and then we're going to either take our hands, interlock the fingers, bring it to the left thigh, or bring it to the left knee. Flex your feet and just draw in. Keep your lower back from rounding. So don't come this way. Just keep the back down and draw the knee in. Keep coming back to your breath and release. Let's do it on the other side. So left foot goes to the right knee, and the same way, interlock the fingers or grab the knee. And we release. Let's go ahead and extend your arms out. So let me move my mat a little bit away from the wall. And you're going to bring your... Oh, sorry, guys. Interruption. Okay. All right, so you're going to extend your arms out. And you're going to take your hips to the left side, and you're going to take your knees to the right, right? And you're going to take that right hand to the knee, and you're going to look to the left hand. We come back to center, and we're gonna take the hips to the right, the knees to the left, and look to the right hand, and bring your left hand to that right knee. Keep your shoulders down, right? So they're not going up. Sense the body, come back to the sensations of the body. We come back and we give ourselves a big, big, big hug again. And then we're going to take a moment to do a little bit of a happy baby. Right? So happy baby, taking your hand, your fingers, your two-piece fingers, grabbing the fat toes and pulling the knees towards the armpits. And then you're just going to move left and right. Like a little happy baby. Not too long ago, all of us were happy babies. So we take a moment just to rock left and right. Feel the goodness in the body, just sense the body. Reminding ourselves, wow, this is a very, very wonderful moment right now. This very moment is wonderful. There is nothing wrong with this moment right now. Nothing to fix, nothing to change, nothing. Let's take a moment and release those feet and just hold the back of your legs. Allow yourself just to hang for a little bit. If you're having trouble sleeping, I strongly suggest that you find a wall, and you could do that. You could just hang out before going to bed tonight and take maybe 20 minutes where you go to the side and then just take your feet up and just hang out here like that for 20 minutes. Allow the body to just really, really relax. But you're holding your legs probably, and you don't have a wall right now. So we're gonna come right back to where we're holding our legs. And let's take a moment and bring our feet together, kind of like in prayer, and just hold in. And feel the body again. Relate to that, to your body, right? Just sensing it. Turning to gratitude. This body has been an amazing vehicle for us. Has gotten us to this very moment. That's a wonderful thing. And then move whichever way you like to stretch out. And then you're going to take Shavasana. Shavasana let's do it for like 5 minutes, right? And I'll set a timer for 5 minutes. And Shavasana is super simple. Let me move back a little bit so you can see my feet. So your feet want to drape to the side, and they're going to be mat distance apart. And your arms are going to go to your side, about 45 degrees out. And you're going to unwind. If you have lights, you could tune them down a little bit. I'm going to do that. Just a little bit. And I'll I'll keep watch for everybody. So I'll do the timer for, actually my phone died out, but I'll keep watch. It's 8:04, so about 5 minutes. So let's do this for about 5 minutes. Hey Siri, set a timer for 5 minutes. Siri has it.
5 minutes and counting.
Here we go. So as you're in Shavasana, the idea is not to fall asleep, but the idea is to bring awareness to the body. So you want to start from the soles of your feet to the crown of your head. So just noticing the body, releasing judgment, meaning just not saying good or bad, it's just noticing it. Keep following your breath. Can you unwind into this pose? Catch yourself. If you're telling any stories, just come back to the breath. Come back to the sensations in the body. So don't allow your mind to just take over. Draw the focal point back to the breath and to the sensations of the body. Take a moment to deepen your breath and wiggle your toes, move your fingers around. And then extend your arms back, stretch out the body again, bring your feet together. Then take your left hand or left wrist with your right hand and just pull that left arm a little bit gently, just stretch it out. And then take your right wrist with your left hand and do the same thing, just pull back. And then when you're ready, you're going to bring your feet to the mat and you're just going to turn to whichever side you like, and you're just going to give yourself a little pillow with your forearm. Ozzy joined us. We take a fetal position, take a moment to just look around ourselves. And again, just turn to the sensations in the body. Turn to a little bit of gratitude and wonder. And then with your free hand, you're going to press down on the ground and you're going to come up. Very slowly, coming back into a seated position. As we take our seated position, we take our shoulder blades back and down a little bit. I sometimes like to tell the story of the Buddha and the Buddha's enlightenment. And the story goes that after many, many years of austerities, of practicing all sorts of things, the Buddha was just so upset that he never attained enlightenment. So he sat under a tree, a Bodhi tree, and he said, I'm not getting up until I get this figured out. And so the tempter Mara shows up, and Mara says, well, I'm going to tempt you. And the first thing that he says is kind of like, I'm going to show you beautiful women and pleasure and food and all these things. And the Buddha was like, I've done that. And it's like, that's not interesting to me. Then it was about power and the power of the world, and the Buddha was not interested in that either. And then finally, Mara was just so upset that he was not able to get the Buddha to kind of change his mind. And then he finally asked him, he says, how dare you? How dare you even believe or think for a moment that you as a mere human being deserve or have the right to be enlightened? And it was the temptation of doubt, right? Of what's up with you? How do you even dare even think that this is your ability to do this? And the Buddha did something that I think is so wise, and it's still very relevant to today. It's like he didn't argue with the tempter, and instead he just took his hand and tapped the ground. And when he tapped the ground, he said, earth is my witness. This is my birthright. This is my birthright. And it's not just my birthright, but it's every single person's birthright to become aware. And with that, he woke up and realized who he was as a human being. That's part of the process that we're all in, right? Trying to figure out who we are and where we are and how we are. And I think that this present moment that all of us are in is an amazing time to take our hand and tap the ground and remind ourselves that earth is our witness, that we belong, and that it is our birthright to be aware and to be awake and to be at ease. As things are and as things unfold, we have the capacity to work with all of it. And so I hope that tonight's session allowed you to relax for this hour, allowed you to settle your mind and your heart and your body, and that it becomes like a little bit of a seed that you keep watering. Water it tomorrow. Maybe do some of the movements that we did today, or maybe none of the movements that we did today. And maybe what you do is just breathe. Breathe. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose. Take time, since most of us are going to be huddling in our homes for a while. to practice. Maybe we could take a little like media break and not read, and maybe practice some yoga at least for an hour, and then come back to this moment. We'll do this practice and a version of this practice on Thursday if you want to come. And one more time, it's nice to do it together because there's a sense of belonging that we're all practicing and encouraging one another. With that, I want to say namaste, which namaste is such a beautiful greeting and it's such a beautiful blessing because it points to the divinity in me, acknowledges the divinity in you. The light in me acknowledges the light in you. We're in this together and we're going to get through this together. And with that, we say namaste. Namaste. So anybody want to chime in before we leave? I know that you have mics all kind of like muted, but I could unmute everybody. It would get a little noisy. But anybody want to say any words?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes.
Great to see you.
Good to see you too, Christina, Rosa Maria, and daughter in love. Welcome.
Hi. Thank you very much. Okay.
My pleasure.
This is my daughter-in-law, April.
Hey, April, how are you?
Great, thank you.
Bye, Ozzy.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah.
Bye.
Feels the show.
Love you. Thank you.
Take
Bye-bye.
care, guys. Be good. I'll see you guys, some of you on Thursday.
Yes, thank
All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Carlos.
All righty. Bye, kids.
Carlos.
Bye-bye. Bye, Caro.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Carlos.
Bye. Take care.
Bye, Antonio.
Antonio. Bye,
Antonio and Maria.
Thank you for the class, Carlos.
Okay, my pleasure. Adios. All right, y'all. Good night.
Good night. Thank you.
All right.
Do we exhale ourselves?